This time is the 10th day of sailing. Tuesday 1:30 p.m. After class at Kurapika's Reading Ability Learning class. Prince guards who come to study at home. They all returned to the princes. Currently in room 1003. Chol is talking to Tori the gifted. Talented Tori is the last of chapter 401. The student who entered the back room. He is now back in room 1003. It means it has been tested by water arrow, awakening the power of thought, and can be speculated. Talent Tori should be with Kurapika. Conversations related to cooperation were held in the back room, and come back to convey relevant information to Chao Lai. He said, if only the 3rd prince, the 5th prince, and the 14th prince survive in the succession war, then the 5th prince and the 14th prince will automatically withdraw from the succession battle. After hearing this, Chao Lai said, the 14th prince Weibo will quit. Not surprised myself. After all, he is too young. But the 5th prince Merci was afraid that he would choose to withdraw voluntarily. A bit unexpected. Then Jolai asked about the withdrawal of the 2 princes just mentioned. Is there a formal document? Heavenly Father Tori gave a positive reply, and said, the guards sent from Cholai before, Kuda and Hasdo will supplement the bodyguards of the 14th prince. Stay in room 1014. On the one hand, protect the 14th prince. On the other hand, he continued to collect relevant intelligence for Chao Lai. Then the screen came to room 1005. Kurapika accepts our peaceful coexistence agreement and cooperation agreement. Yes, but Kurapika proposed. When he came to our room number 1005, he must bring the prince and princess with him, and the 3rd prince's guard. It is also required to accompany people for the purpose of sharing information. That's just what you want. Even living with the 14th prince is no problem. At this time, a prince on the side was sending out his troops. In my heart, I was muttering the words of compassion and fear just now, rather than forming an alliance with the 14th prince. It would be better to say that it is an alliance with Kurapika. Chol here. He gave a coin spit out by his mind beast to Tenfutoli, and said, give you another coin. This is your 2nd one. If you get a certain amount, I will consider giving you a reward. Can I help you, sir? I feel very honored. Jolai continued to say to Tenfutoli, about this coin. If you carry him with you all the time, he will definitely bring you good luck. But what Chao Lai thinks in his heart is, able to reach semi-surrender conditions with the 5th prince and the cross prince. There is indeed progress. But in this succession battle, is the so-called promise of surrender really effective? Still doubtful. But compared to this, I'm more worried about this coin. I've been carrying it with me for 10 days straight. Did you think there would be any changes? Sure enough, it doesn't work in my hands. But here at Mercy Fear, his concern is, 4th Prince Cherry has not come to the dinner for many years. It seems that working with me is not among his priorities. Now Prince E's 4-shooting soldier Lihan has set his sights on me. I can't sit still and wait for death. Benjamin's attention must be turned to the 3rd Prince Chao Lai, thinking about what he said to Mal and Lanji. In the next reading ability training class, you try to strengthen the close relationship with the 3rd Prince mutual defense, and let Benjamin's 4-shooter Shurikov and Babima notice this. Finished. Mersipa begins signing cooperation agreement with Kalapika. Suddenly behind him, his mind beast suddenly appeared. Novelist Lihan saw the Nyen beast. The brain starts to work quickly. This is too much of a coincidence. The timing of the appearance of this mind beast. It just happened to beat Sabipa and Kurapika. After signing the cooperation agreement, it seems that his mind beast is conditional type. At this time, the screen changes. Came to the house of Prince Benjamin. The dead are here in Balusa. He will hide it in his right shoe, take out a hidden grid, and took out a box from his pocket. In the box are some syringes and test tubes. Balusa thought, this is by our own army. Weapons of mass destruction developed. But during the development process, found a flaw. Therefore, this thing is used as a weapon. It's a failure. But at some point, it's a perfect assassination weapon. After being injected with it, initial symptoms and existing infectious pancreatitis. Very similar. Very likely to misjudge the true route and time of infection. But since infection prevention manuals are available, therefore you can avoid being outside the assassination target. Other people are affected. Germs are extremely unstable in the air. Exposed to air, it will lose activity in just 30 seconds. But before that, it enters the human body through the respiratory tract, and rapidly increase in value in the body. The fatality rate of infected people is very high. Will die from organ failure in just half a day. Moreover, all diseases have the property of accelerating the decay of corpses. Therefore, no traces will be left during the autopsy. If it is in a closed room without ventilation, an infected person simply enters a hotspot area and breathes. Both the infection rate and fatality rate will reach 100%. due to the fast standby switching speed, and there is a risk of mutation. Therefore, its use has been restricted as much as possible. But this time it must be used. Then Belusa took out a jar. Stuff it quietly into the secret pocket of your shoe, and hide a starting device in his hand. His goal is to kill the 9th Prince Hockenbrugg. During the first trial, Belusa will take action. It's now 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning. Return to room 1004, 4th Prince Cheredinisi, in order to gain a more comprehensive understanding of his telekinesis abilities. He brought a treadmill for data testing. Sargov is with you. How long will it take this time? 9 seconds 67. Finally less than 10 seconds. But I still want less time. I will pay attention in 10 seconds. Sargov thought to himself. I need to spend a year. Only then can we reach Prince Su's current level. I have been aware of it since I was born. Very clear. Want to overcome the limit of 10 seconds. Is extremely difficult. But for him, my 6 months is equivalent to a prince's day. He is indeed a monster. Judgment based on his character. He will definitely use his abilities. For one's own benefit, it's right to mention him. Some action must be taken. But Sargov spoke hardcore. Wow, in good condition. You are moving at an unprecedented speed. Master this ability. While thinking about it, if what Tita said is true, then the 4th prince is in a state of absolute despair. It is indeed a certain ability that is activated. This is also a common type of existence in the special system. The only thing I can think of is just that his Nien beast has accumulated some energy in normal times. Therefore, after the prince entered a state of extreme, can still use him. But these are all Tita's words. Cannot be ruled out that after the mind beast attacks Tita, manipulating him, causing him to say these words. After all so far, I haven't been able to see the prince's other mind beast yet. At this time, Fantang, the captain of the 4th Army, said, Prince, about the hunter named Melody. It seems that the Department of Justice has already suspected. The escape of the 10th prince and the 11th prince is related to the Melody. His detention was therefore extended. In addition, the 1st prince seems to have the same intention. Want to see Melody, and sent soldiers next to the Ministry of Justice. No matter what, we can't let him get ahead of us. Keep meeting the Melody. Find out what the guy named Melody is thinking. And then try to win him over. Although Sargov, who was on the side, also heard their conversation. But he doesn't know who Melody is. Therefore, no further action can be taken. Whispering inwardly, the prince plays games while running. You can also talk to others at the same time. It will never be interrupted. This obviously needs to be practiced in years. I definitely can't do it. Enough is enough. Just being with the prince makes me feel so powerless. Mention him. You are amazing. At the same time, at 6 o'clock on Wednesday morning, something else was going on at Melody's edge at the same time. The symbiosis between Melody and the two becomes Cadro. Let's look at a photo of Folgate's back. Shown in photo, there's a mark on Folgate's back. Cadro said he saw it when Gates was changing his clothes. I took this photo immediately, like caused by mosquito bites. But he is sure. There were no such marks here before. Melody says, a bit like traces of injection. Cadro retorted that it was impossible, because after Fu Gates tried to escape and was caught, he has been detained in this Ministry of Justice. How could he still be injected? In a neutral institution like the Department of Justice, it's impossible for someone to inject it. Melody replied, that's probably the effect of the ability to read. In order to give full play to their abilities, some people with mental abilities need to be done step by step. Prince Fu Gates has a high probability of winning. The trap set by the magician, and carved a mark. He started yesterday, just acting weird, right? The Melody comes to this. Karua just realized something was wrong. A secret door that could only be used once a day. Now you can use it as you like. The reason why this happens. Could it be caused by the enemy's telekinesis ability? Let Fu Gates try his abilities again. There will definitely be 2 doors by then. One of them is an enemy trap. This scene must be seen by Gates Fu with his own eyes, and convince him that he can no longer use the secret door. No need to convince at all. As long as he sees it with his own eyes, understand that it is a fake secret door. He will definitely stop, right? I hope so. But judging from his current behavior, he may be addicted. Want to stop right away. It's probably a bit difficult. Is it addictive like drugs? This is too much. See Rich Gates in such a short period of time. Such drastic changes have occurred. I can only think so. First I thought, among the princes who asked to meet me, someone wants to take the poisoned Rich Gates as a bargaining chip, but I was wrong. If he continues to use this ability of the enemy, he will be hurt physically and mentally. He won't survive next weekend. This ability of the enemy, it must be for those who fall into the trap, carry out indiscriminate attacks. Then what should we do? We have to find out who is behind the telekinesis, and let him stop his ability. But now there are no clues. It was very difficult to find him. I have a suspicion. You mean the 7th Prince Ruzilis? Yes. He is the object of family alliance, and selling drugs as a source of funds. If it were his mind beast, this is not surprising at all. Even if this guess is correct, I'm afraid the prince himself didn't realize it. His mind beast is attacking, so it's impossible to convince him. It seems that Fu Gates can only do it himself. In addition to this, no way to stop. There is no way to confirm. Then let's act now. I understand how you feel, but we can't act rashly. We need a thorough plan. I have a plan. Fu Gates has been trying various methods before. I want to see my secret door. What can be done? Although I don't know the ship itself. Is there any barrier coverage? But every time when we want to, when going to places outside the ship, the secret door has never been opened. But through the secret door, we have access to the room with the lifeboat. Except for you two. Can anyone else access the secret door? I think it's okay. The secret door is on departure. The moment Covert entered the passage, the door will close. On the way back, when I enter the channel, the door will close. When we were kids, we asked our housekeeper to play with us. That is to say, as long as we can enter, others should be able to enter and exit as well. Cadro, follow your plan. You need other people besides me. I want to use the flute, make the 7th prince unconscious. Then go through the tunnel with the secret door. Carry him to the lifeboat. The best case scenario is that the 7th prince volunteers to participate in the escape plan. Go to the lifeboat yourself. But he shouldn't be that stupid. The most reliable thing is indeed the ability of melody. Of course, the more direct method is to poison or strangle him on the spot. Now, caused the accidental death of the 7th prince is our optimal strategy. He'll be responsible for transporting the 7th prince. Your alibi can be executed during questioning. The guards of the 7th prince will definitely jump out to testify. It was influenced by your enemy, but don't worry too much. Just check their urine and hair. There will definitely be a drug reaction, so it can be explained that they take drugs, causing hallucinations and lying. The prince overdosed on drugs, trying to escape from the ship. Heart attack on the way. This is a story that can explain itself. I have no problem with the plan itself, but there is a fundamental problem. Where does the secret door lead to? Leading to the prince's master bedroom. In order to be able to do this, Fulgate has to get there first, right? Can you explain it to me? I don't understand at all. Fulgate wants to use the power of the secret door. You have to go to that place beforehand. And this time the goal. It's the 7th prince's master bedroom. Got it. Leave this to me. I will find a way. You should also consider it. The reason why Gates went to meet other princes. We at the Justice Bureau will act as monitors. Walk together. So don't worry. Fu Gates was assassinated. Wait, did you just say prince? Isn't it just the 7th prince? I have to go to other princes. Strategically. The more you go, the better, right? If you only go to the 7th prince, will arouse suspicion. And the more places I go, later, when defending against attacks from other princes, can also come in handy. I understand. This will allow the plan to be implemented. More seamless. If it is the late prince who is stuck. Letters similar to last words. On the premise of ensuring safety, our Justice Bureau. All princes will be interested in the content. The probability of receiving letters is also high. Of course, it is best not to notify in advance. Just enter the rooms of each prince. It won't look unnatural, but I'm not sure. They'll let a lower prince in and hand-deliver the letter, especially the 7th prince. If you are accompanied by someone from the Justice Bureau, he may have many things you don't want the Justice Bureau to see. Okay. It depends on my negotiation skills. Worst case scenario, even if a forced home search is required, we will also enter the room. Please tell Prince forgets about this. Even so, I still need to confirm. Everyone is already so involved. There is absolutely no turning back. Are you really willing to block everything in yourself? Of course. But I didn't do it because of my feelings for you. If Prince Forgets could ascend the throne, if the national system changes, that's the best result. The Prince of Kazoo is by his side. Should also protect Fulgate from his mother's interference. I join the Ministry of Justice, not to stubbornly defend the law, but for the ideal world in my heart to become a reality. If it takes getting my hands dirty to create a better world, then let me do it. Even if you lose the qualification to enter that wonderful world. I'm also willing. The melody rings after listening to it. I can't hear any slight change in Caesar's heartbeat, since it's impossible to guess his true intentions. You must be mentally prepared that he is the enemy. At present, it seems that neither he nor the person manipulating him. Everyone thinks we are still valuable. To protect Fulgate, It is necessary to continue this relationship for now. Then Caesar took Fulgate and began to go to the living room of a prince. Although there were soldiers outside the door blocking, but Caesar said, I want to personally deliver the letter from the 10th Prince Cadro to Prince Benjamin. The 10th prince passed away a few days ago, but I wrote a letter in front of him. Need to be given to each prince separately. The letter says, if I die, I hope you can deliver this letter directly to the princes. The Justice Bureau has confirmed. There are no dangerous items such as explosives or drugs in the letter. Therefore, we hope that, under the supervision of relevant personnel, to allow this letter to be delivered to the first prince by the 11th prince. At this time, Benjamin's bald head shot out all over the place. Bucci stepped forward and said, I will take him away and give him to the prince. Caesar replied, content of this letter. It may be related to the succession of the throne. If the prince's last wish is not followed, handed over by Prince 11 to Prince 1, the contents of this letter may become invalid. Do you want to take this risk? Then, with the consent of Benjamin, taking Caesar and his party to Benjamin. With Benjamin's permission, Vaux approached Benjamin with the letter, because he has a lot of resentful spirits behind him. At the moment of approaching, seeing this situation, Benjamin thought to himself, these evil spirits have dissipated. As expected, they are low-level evil spirits that burden the physically and mentally weak. This is not the ability of Fulgate's mind beast. It's not a trick. Did he fall into despair because of his sister's death? If this continues, he can't last 10 days. Benjamin said after getting the letter, then he'll tear him apart on the spot. This is better. If it contains information about inheritance, the Ministry of Justice will serve as a witness. The content is very ordinary, without any political intention. No need to show it. By the way, have you found my assassin Twilight? Not yet. The time point of unlocking the channel. We focused on the first floor, but still not found. Of course, we can also choose to enforce force. To all princes' quarters. Conduct a comprehensive search. It makes no sense. You must know. Between royal privilege and military power. Controversy over priorities. Still arguing in court. From the beginning, this matter is inconsistent with prerequisites for the implementation of special martial law order. The implication, the disappearance of Twilight, is not a national crisis. Indeed, Casa was thinking, this guy is good at testing people. There are several stages in the execution of force. The key point discussed by the court is, when a military personnel is the victim, whether it constitutes a military crisis. This incident exactly meets this condition. But Prince E deliberately avoided this. Instead, it escalates the problem to a high-level crisis of family demise. Mentioned special martial law. Prince E must have seen the right time. Prepare to implement special martial law. He may be pretending to be calm. Think carefully about sexual content. Didn't even realize I made a mistake. But I came here while Captain Barassa was away. It was indeed the right choice. Let other princes read these letters too. Observe their reaction when they read the letter. It seems to be a quite effective method. Then Casa implemented the plan. The letters were shown to different princes in turn. Of course, including Prince Chi. This really surprised me. Finally revealed the truth. What a surprise. Fort Gates. Did your sister say anything about this letter? Did she say, write the same content to all princes? No. She left without saying anything. That's true. She doesn't want you involved. Although the content of the letter has nothing to do with the succession of the throne. But I want the Justice Bureau to take a look at it too. Caesar took the letter. While joking in my heart, the content of this letter is what I told Carew. Written by Jean Carew. Then it entered a memory of the three of them. Since we have to do this, we just try to destroy the relationship between the other princes. The Justice Department will independently collect inside information on each prince. It can be said that this is to maintain the neutrality of the Justice Bureau, and prepared a deterrent intelligence bomb. Therefore, it is quite destructive. Let's make the most of it. I understand, but people will believe young Carew. Do you know this inside information? I believe the princes will be eager to want to know the source of the leak. Someone might try to investigate Prince 11, but I will protect him. Before the grassroots war ends, I won't let Fulgate return to danger. First floor living area. In room 1007. Caesar pretended to watch. Letter handed over by Prince Chi. While thinking about it, Prince Chi actually showed me this letter. Indeed unexpected. Maybe he is better than I thought. Come more cautious and suspicious. And said, this is the secret about Prince Song. However, this alone cannot be used as evidence. Maybe it's a rumor. Kajal mentioned in the letter. I don't want the fourth prince to inherit the throne. Is he trying to use this baseless negative publicity? prompt people to investigate, finally discovered the potential true evil of the fourth prince? After all, if you check it out, there might really be a problem. Of course, I don't have much qualifications to criticize others. At this time, the seventh prince fell into deep thought. Something's wrong. The last message was not to protect his sister, but to drop a bomb in the prince's gate. Kajal is a smart man. I'm sure the letters each prince received were different. If he lets snakes fight with each other, then cry to a prince, asking for protection for his sister Folgate. Those who act secretly are the most dangerous. Gotta take a closer look. Balance is important. I don't believe in sexual content myself. Just give it to the Justice Bureau. Then the seventh prince said, plan to hand over the letter to the Justice Bureau for safekeeping. I have no interest in judging whether the contents are right or wrong. On the way to the other prince's living room, Cather was also concerned whether Folgate was feeling tired. I won't go to other princes. But Folgate said he was in good shape. Will try my best. But the resentful spirit behind him still follows Folgate's. Suddenly, the resentful spirit dissipated again. Turns out to be Banana. Yo, Prince Forges. Can I take you a little time? I am Melody's companion Basho. Maybe he's being nosy, but it seems like you have too many things to worry about. My mental state is not very good. It's a talisman. It's better to wear it on your body temporarily. Folgate accepted it with great joy. Basho was thinking, with this, Jieling from the first episode should not be close to you for the time being. However, if the fundamental problem of physical and mental weakness is not solved, the dangerous situation will not change. Melody, I'll leave it to you next. It's now 8:50 a.m. on Wednesday. After completing the task, the Melody trio get together again to discuss. Considering that the seventh prince may not be the biggest culprit, we must act as soon as the cover sub is invited. We can pretend to be in the infirmary while we're being treated, activate secret door, and arrange guards and other personnel at the door of the room. This will provide a perfect alibi. Thanks Basho for buying us some time. But we still don't know who is most responsible. Considering practicality, I will use it first time, but when I use my ability, cannot do other things. No problem. If the length of the passage of the secret door, if it's about 10 meters, carry it alone, can also be completed in time. The commotion just now takes place directly above the Ministry of Justice. The prince who is currently on the second floor. Except those two, there is only the ninth prince. The ability that caused the commotion just now, it should be the ninth prince. Gain the power of his mind beast, but fell. But it was the ninth prince himself. Didn't know this was part of their plan. Something unexpected happened. I want to know as much as possible. More details. If the ninth prince wakes up, I want to give the letter to him immediately. No problem. I have arranged for people I trust. Come take turns to accompany the ninth prince. Melody was thinking at this time. The heart for the ninth prince contains all the information, including a prince's secret, Prince Sun's crime, and the truth about the ninth prince's own origins. There is also information that is enough to shake the entire inheritance station. If it were the ninth prince, we must be able to make use of this information. Of course, there is one person, Kurapika. At this time, Kalapika was reading Kadro's personal letter, thinking in mind, as long as the inheritance station continues, the princes will not be able to escape from this ship. Must find a way to prevent more princes